Fellas, let's talk straight. You've probably been told your whole life that way to keep a woman happy is to always be doing something for her. Take her out to nice places. Buy her the things she wants. Be there every time she calls. Make her feel like a queen. Sounds good on paper, right? But here's the reality I've seen time and time again. That's not what real life keeps a woman interested. You can be the guy who bends over backwards, gives her the world, and still watch her walk away without a second thought. Why? Because what you do for her is never as important as what you are to her. Women aren't sitting around with a mental scoreboard, counting every nice gesture you make. They're not keeping a tally of your favors. What they're feeling is much deeper and way more instinctive. It's about whether you carry yourself in a way that makes them feel drawn to you, respect you, and trust you. See? Most men focus on the surface stuff because it's the easiest to understand: gifts, trips, texts, attention. But women care far less about those things than they do about the core qualities you bring as a man. And when you know exactly what those qualities are, you stop running yourself into the ground trying to earn her love and start buying the kind of man she doesn't want to lose. Over the years, I've narrowed it down to 5 things women actually want from a man. And the truth is, if you have these 5, everything else is optional. Miss them, and no amount of effort will save you. Let's break it down. Why doing more for her doesn't mean she want you more. 1. Why doing more for her doesn't mean she'll want you more. I've met so many men who tell the same story. They meet a woman, things are going great, and they decide the best way to lock her in is to give her everything she could possibly want. They start texting her constantly, picking her up from work, buying little surprises, taking her to nice dinners. It's almost like they believe if they don't know good things, she see how valuable they are and never want to leave. But here's what usually happens. Instead of her becoming more invested, she starts pulling away. Your texts get answered slower. She's suddenly busier. The spark you felt in the beginning starts fading. And you're sitting there confused, wondering how doing more could lead to getting less. The problem isn't that she doesn't appreciate what you do. It's that doing more for her doesn't automatically make her feel more attraction. In fact, sometimes it does the opposite. When a woman sees you constantly overextending yourself for her, she starts to feel like she's the prize and you're chasing her approval. And once she senses you're trying to win her instead of simply being yourself, her respect begins to slip. Think about it. If you met a woman who did everything for you from day one, cooked, cleaned, paid for things, rearranged her schedule for you, you might enjoy it at first, but eventually you'd start wondering why she's giving so much so soon. You'd question whether she's doing it because she truly values herself or because she's afraid of losing you. Women feel the same way. They want to be with a man who gives because he chooses to, not because he's hoping to earn her love. They're drawn to men who value their own time and energy, who have a life they're not willing to put on hold for anyone. When you make her the center of your world too quickly, you kill the mystery and the challenge that attraction thrives on. Here's the truth most men need to hear. A woman can enjoy your gifts, your time, and your attention, but none of that will make her stay if she doesn't feel genuine attraction and respect for you. You could buy her the most expensively, plan the perfect vacation, and still lose her to a guy who gives her none of that, but has the qualities she craves deep down. The key is to understand that giving should be an addition to the relationship, not the foundation of it. She should feel your presence, your confidence, and your direction in life before she ever feels the weight of your wallet or the number of favors you do. That's what keeps her invested. The power of presence, the power of presence. She feels you for she sees you. Every man has walked into a room and seen another guy who didn't say a word, yet everyone seemed to notice him. He didn't need to have the loudest voice, the flashiest dresser, or the one telling the best jokes. There was just something about him that pulled attention his way. That's a thing is presence. Presence is what a woman feels from you before you even open your mouth. It's the way you carry yourself, the way you look at her, the way you stand, the way you move. It's an energy that communicates without trying, and women pick up on it instantly. A man with presence doesn't have to do much to get noticed. His vibe speaks louder than his words. Think about a time you saw a man walk onto a place and it was as if the atmosphere shifted. He wasn't seeking approval, he wasn't trying to Machiavellian like him, and he definitely was never compensating, he simply was. He was grounded, aware, and comfortable in his own skin. That's presence. Now compare that to a man hoax and fidgeting, looking around nervously, unsure where to put his shins, laughing too quickly, or rovaricking to fill silence. He's doing more, but he's felt less. Women can sense the difference immediately. I've seen this play out countless times. A woman might be talking to a guy who's trying hard to impress her, but the man with presence steps into the room, her attention subtly shifts. She might not even realize it, but her body language changes. She straightens up. Her eyes follow him and her curiosity sparks. That's because a presence makes her feel something: safety, intrigue, and respect, without them having to perform. Presence comes from living a life you're in control of, not one you're chasing. It's knowing Yahweh value whether she's interested or not. It's not about standing still and acting tough. It's about being fully in the moment and not scattered in your thoughts. When you're present, you listen better. You speak with more weight, and you make people feel seen when they're around you. For women, this is magnetic because presence signals strength, focus, and confidence. A man who's truly present is rare in today's world of distraction. He's not glued to his phone. He's not constantly seeking validation, and he's not rushing to prove himself. He makes her feel like the only person in the room when he chooses to give her his attention, and that's powerful. Presence isn't something you fake. It's something you'll build by taking care of yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally. When you own your space and move with intention, she feels you before she even sees you. And that's a connection you can't buy. Confidence, the silent signal she can't ignore. 3. Confidence, the silent signal she can't ignore. Confidence is one of those things you can't fully see, but you can't always feel. And when it comes to women, nothing speaks louder than a man's confidence. You can be average in looks, not have the biggest bank account, and still turn heads if you walk into a situation believing in yourself. But if you doubt yourself, it doesn't matter how good you look or how much you have. She'd pick up on it instantly. I remember a friend of mine who wasn't the tallest guy in the room, didn't dress in expensive clothes, and didn't fave a flashy car. But whenever we went out, women gravitated toward him. Why? Because he carried himself like he belonged wherever he was. He never acted like he needed to prove himself. Tonyon. If a conversation went well, great. If it didn't, he wasn't rattled. He was secure enough to know his value didn't depend on any one person's reaction. That's what confidence looks like in real life. It's not arrogance, and it's not pretending to be something you're not. It's trusting yourself so deeply that you're not thrown off when things don't go perfectly. Women find that irresistible because of confidence makes them feel like you can handle life, and by extension handle them. On the flip side, lack of confidence is just as easy to spot. Each hours up when you overthink every move, when you're afraid to speak your mind, when you back down the second there's resistance. It's in the way you shrink yourself in social situations or avoid eye contact because you don't want to be too forward. Women might appreciate tenderness and politeness, but they don't respond to timidity. Confidence is built through our action. It's the result of doing things that challenge you, failing some nights, and realizing you can still stand tall afterward. It's about keeping promises to yourself, setting boundaries, and refusing to let any O'Neills dictate your worth. When you're confident, you walk differently, you act differently, and people, especially women, respond differently. I've seen it over and over. A man with confidence can say less and still get more attention than a man who's trying to impress with words and gestures. That's because women feel safer with a man who trusts himself. He doesn't overreact, he doesn't panic under pressure, and he doesn't crumble when things get tough. When you show up with real confidence, you stop chasing approval and start attracting respect. Women can't ignore it because it makes them feel something they don't find in most men. Certainty. And in a world where most people doubt themselves every day, certainty is rare and magnetic. Leadership. Guiding without controlling. For leadership, guiding without controlling. A woman may enjoy spending time with you. She may even be attracted to you. But if she doesn't feel that you can lead, she will never fully relax in your presence. Leadership in a relationship isn't aboodling her what to do, or buying overbearing. It's about being decisive, having direction, and showing you can handle situations with clarity and strength. I remember being out with a group of friends when one of the guys we're with got into a small but telling situation. We were all trying to decide where to go next, and everyone was deciding, tossing around different entities. This guy didn't wait for consensus. He looked at the options, considered what made the most sense for a very own, and said, "All right, here's what we're going to do," and laid out a plan. No one argued and everyone followed. The women in the group, even ones who weren't with him, lit up a little in his presence. That's the effect leadership has. It creates trust and respect. Women notice how you handle the everyday moments. If you can't decide where to eat without a long back and forth, if you avoid making choices because you're scared of buying wrong, it signals to her that you won't be able to handle bigger challenges. Leadership is about taking responsibility, not avoiding it. This doesn't mean you steamroll her opinions or shut her out of decisions. In fact, great leadership in a relationship involves listening to her input, considering her perspective, and then making a choice that moves things forward. You're not controlling her, you're guiding the direction with confidence and calmness. One of the biggest mistakes men make is thinking that being easygoing and letting her decide everything will make her happier. In reality, it often makes her feel unsafe, like she's the one who has to take the lead because you won't. That dynamic can slowly kill her attraction for you. When you lead well, you take pressure off her shoulders. She can relax knowing you're steering the ship. This is especially powerful in situations where things get stressful, maybe. The trip doesn't go as planned, the car breaks down, or plans fall through. A man who stays calm, finds solutions, and keeps moving forward will always stand out. Leadership is one of the purest displays of masculine energy. It's not loud or aggressive. It's steady, reliable, and grounded. Women feel it and respond to it without even thinking about it. They just want a man who can be there when things are fun. They want a man who can lead when things get difficult. That's what makes them want to follow your lead in every other part of the relationship. Ambition, showing you're going somewhere in life. 5. Ambition, showing you're going somewhere in life. A man without ambition might get a woman's attention for a little while, but he won't keep it for long. Women are naturally drawn to men who have direction, men who are building something, men who wake up with a purpose. It's not about being rich or kissing status. It's about showing here you're moving forward in life and you're in it content to stay in the same place forever. I knew a guy years ago who wasn't the best looking, didn't have Phoebus car, and wasn't dressed in designerclothes, but he had this undeniable drive about him. He was working long hours on a project he believed in, constantly improving himself and talking about the things he was building for his future. Women noticed. They saw the passion in his eyes when he spoke about his goals, and that made him attractive in a way that had nothing to do with money or looks. On the other hand, I've seen men who get stuck in a rut. They have no plan, no vision, and no fire in their lives. They go to work, come home, waste time, and repeat. At first, a woman might tolerate it if she likes him, but over time, her respect fades because deep down she wants a man who inspires her, not one who drains her energy. Ambition tells her something important about you. It says you believe in yourself enough to chase after what you want. It says you're not afraid of hard work. You're not satisfied with mediocrity. And you're not going to settle for an average life. That mindset is magnetic. Women feel secure with ambitious men because ambition means growth, and growth means a better future. It's also about more than just career. Ambition can be in your fitness, your hobbies, your learning, or any area of life where you're pushing yourself forward. A man training for a marathon, building a business, learning a skill, or chasing a personal milestone radiates an energy that makes people, including women, want to be around him. The key is that ambition isn't something you talk about to impress her. It's something you will live out whether she's there or not. You're not putting on a show. You're genuinely committed to your own growth. and that's what makes her want to be part of your journey. When a woman sees that you have somewhere you're going in life, she naturally wants to walk beside you. She feels like she can be part of something bigger than herself. That is power of ambition. It doesn't just make you attractive. It makes you unforgettable. Emotional stability 6, emotional stability being her rock dot when life gets messy, when life gets hard, when emotions are running high, and when everything feels uncertain. A woman will naturally look to see how the man beside her reacts. Emotional stability is one of the most powerful things you can offer because it'll her you can handle not just your own storms but hers too. I remember watching a couple in a busy airport when their flight got canceled unexpectedly. The woman was visibly stressed, passing in checking her phone every few seconds. The man, however, was in panic. He stayed calm, spoke to her softly, and started figuring out a solution. He didn't match her stress, he grounded it. You could see her shoulders drop a little as she began to calm down just by being around him. That's emotional stability in action. Women feel safe with a man who doesn't crumble when things go wrong. It's not about never feeling emotions. You're human. You will feel anger, frustration, sadness. But emotional stability means you don't let those feelings control you. You process them. You respond instead of reacting, and you keep moving forward. On the flip side, nothing kills attraction faster than a man who loses control under pressure. If you get defensive, lash out, or spiral into negativity every time something goes wrong, she starts to feel like she has to manage you instead of leaning on you. And when a woman feels like she has Tob the strong one all the time, she eventually stops seeing you as her rock. I've seen this in relationships where a man lets his mood swing wildly depending on circumstances. One day he's happy, the next he's angry, and she never knows what version of him she's going to get. That kind of unpredictability makes her feel unsafe. And safety is non-negotiable for lasting attraction. Emotional stability also means you don't take everything personally. Not every disagreement is an attack. Not every bad day is a crisis. You keep your perspective. You listen before you respond. And you choose your words carefully. This doesn't just benefit your relationship. It benefits a very part of your life because people respect those who stay grounded when everyone else is losing it. When you are emotionally stable, you give her the freedom to be emotional without fear of pushing you away. She knows you won't run at the first sign of difficulty, and she knows you won't crumble when she needs you most. That's when a woman begins to trust you fully, not just with her heart, but with her vulnerability, and trust like that is rare, which makes it priceless. Masculine energy, the one thing that makes you irreplaceable. 7. Masculine energy. The one thing that makes you irreplaceable. Masculine energy isn't about how much weight you can lift, how deep your voice is, or how many women you can attract. It's the natural force that makes you stand firm in who you are. Take responsibility for your life and move with purpose. It's what balances a relationship because masculine and feminine energies naturally complement each other. When you embody it fully, you become a presence in her life that you can't find anywhere else. I've seen men mistake masculine energy for dominance or control, but that's not it. True masculine energy is calm strength. It's being steady when things get chaotic. It's knowing where you're going and not needing constant validation along the way. It's the quiet confidence that says, I've got this, without ever having to raise your voice. I remember one of my closest friends going through a rough period in his relationship. His girlfriend was under heavy stress from work, family problems, and personal doubts. She was emotional, overwhelmed, and unsure about almost everything in her life. What stood out wasn't what he said to her. It was how he carried himself during that time. He didn't try to fix every little thing for her and hadn't get frustrated when she was upset. He simply stayed steady. He kept moving forward in his own life. Invited her to join him when she wanted and gave her space when she needed it. That steadiness was pure masculine energy, and it pulled her closer instead of pushing her away. Masculine energy also means living in alignment with your values. You don't bend on what's important to you just to avoid conflict. You can compromise on small things, but your core principles remain solid. Women respect and are drawn to men who know what They stand for because it gives them a sense of direction and safety without masculine energy. The balance in a relationship flips. You start chasing her emotions instead of leading with your purpose. You react to her mood instead of guiding the energy between you. And over time she begins to feel more like the leader, which slowly kills her attraction. When you embody masculine energy, you become the grounding force in the relationship. She can bring her emotions, her softness, her chaos, and instead of being pulled into it, you absorb it without losing yourself. The dynamic is what creates diapolarity. The push and pull that keeps attraction alive for years. The truth eyes looks fade, money comes and goes, but masculine energy is timeless. When you bring it into every part of your life, you don't just become attractive. You become unforgettable, CLUSIO, and at the end of the day, it's not about how much you do for a woman. It's about what you are as a man: presence, confidence, leadership, ambition, emotional stability, and masculine energy are the real foundations of attraction. These qualities make her feel something deep that gifts, favors, or constant attention never could. When you focus on building these traits, you stop chasing her and start inspiring her to chase you over and over. Be the man she can respect, trust, and admire. And you'll never have to wonder if you're enough. She already knows you.